Hello Stampers and Crafters, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's project is this one. I'm going to show you how to make this adorable card using the lovely arrangements bundle from Stampin' Up! So if you'd like to see how to create this card, please keep watching. To start this card, we're going to need to do a little bit of die cutting. I have the lovely arrangements bundle here. This has 12 stamps, 9 dies bundled together. You save 10%. I love this bundle. There is a whole suite of products that goes with this. It includes some embellishments, ribbon, an embossing folder, but today we're just using the bundle. I'm going to go ahead and get my dies out. So for our background here, I'm going to be using this panel. I'm going to need my flowers. I'm also going to need my oval for the sentiment and these 2 leaves. So we're using all but 3 of the dies in the set today. And then for stamps, I already have them mounted on clear blocks. I'm going to be using the flowers and the hello friend. So that's it for stamps. They're already mounted here, ready to go. We're going to do our stamping first, and then I will show you how to create that super cute background panel. So I have just a piece of basic white cardstock here. We're going to grab our Memento ink, and I want 2 of the full flowers and 1 of the half flowers there. So we're going to ink these up in Memento. The reason I'm using the Memento ink is we're going to do a little coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and the Memento ink works wonderfully for that. No bleeding or, running of the colors, anything like that. Ink up our little half flower. Got a little close to the edge there, but that's okay. And then I'm also going to ink up the sentiment. So this card uses just 1 color of ink, and that is it for our stamping. We'll set these to the side. And then before we get into our die cutting, let's color. I have 3 different colors here now. If I had the 2025 to 2027 in colors, the Timid Tiger and Darling Duckling, Strawberry Slush, I would use those. I don't. So instead I'm using Flirty Flamingo, Calypso Coral, and Lemon Lolly. So let's do the Lemon Lolly first. Now for these flowers, I did start with the darker color first, and I'm just going in the center and then doing some of the lines with that darker color. This one is Lemon Lolly. And now if you have the in color blends, feel free to use those or whatever colors you like. I did use the in colors for the background panel. I do think using these different shades of yellow, pink, and orange give it a nice little contrast, but feel free to use and swap out whatever colors you like. Now we're going to do the Calypso Coral. And again, just going over the middle and some of the lines here. Not perfect by any means. Now my light Calypso Coral, my brush tip, being a little bit funny. Same with my Flirty Flamingo. So I'm just kind of working it like this so I don't go out of the lines too bad. I think I'm actually gonna do this now with that fine tip end, just because for some reason it's having a hard time. Which it's funny because the Calypso Coral I feel like I don't use very often. Maybe that's why, because it's not being used. I do store them on their sides like they're supposed to be. Because you don't want to store them standing straight up because all the ink will go to one end. So I do store them flat in the Stampin' Up! Storage. I'm just going to go over this again and again, trying not to go out of the lines. And if you do though, it's okay. So I'm going to go in with the dark Flirty Flamingo in the same thing. Okay, so that's all of our coloring done. Now I'm just going to die cut everything. For the leaves, I am going to die cut these 3 of them. 2 of the big one, actually I'm sorry, 4 of them. 2 of the doubles and 2 of the singles out of some Granny Apple Green. And then I have a piece of basic black that is cut to 3.5 by 3. I'm just going to lay this die over it and run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to do all the die cutting and then I will be back to put the card together. So now that everything is die cut, we can start putting our card together. This is what that panel looks like. You might get some bits stuck in. You can just take your paper piercer, or if you have like the brush tip end for the take your pick tool, you can use that. Some of them might even get stuck in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and poke some of these out. And honestly, I've seen them where you leave these little pieces in and it actually still looks really cute. So if you miss one and put it together, it's fine. Nobody knows what your card is supposed to look like but you, right? I think, however it turns out, if you're okay with it, the recipient should be okay with it, right? It's art. And these actually really remind me of watermelon seeds, so I wonder if maybe an online exclusive, if Stampin' Up! Came out with a watermelon set again, like they have in the past. I think those would make really cute watermelon seeds. So set that aside. I'm going to clean this up just so I don't stick any watermelon seeds to my card. Or they could even be like seeds for the middle of your flower. And I think they really look like seeds. So to get the colored background, what I did was I took a few strips of, I have Timid Tiger here, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Slush. Is it Darling Duckling? It is. I always want to call it Darling Duck. So then what I did is I just took a little bit of seal and you want to flip it over to the back part. I just covered up the holes. You don't need a ton of adhesive. And then what I did was take my scissors and just snip off these ends, and then you can use them for the rest of the holes. And if you don't cover them all up, it's fine because you will be covering your card. So like that one in the middle is not completely covered. It's fine. My card's it's gonna get covered up. I did try my hardest though to do the ones in the end. Again, if you don't, it's fine. So I'm just gonna put this down with a little bit of seal. And I put it the long way. You can also go up and down that way. Make sure this got moved a little bit. I don't want it poking out of the ends. So I'm going to do that. And then for the flowers, I just kind of looked and seen how I wanted them to go. I think I want that one to go like this too. And then I take a little bit of seal and pop the leaves on. And I did kind of the opposite. So that one went on that side. This one's going to go on that side. Like that. And then dimensionals to pop those up. Bring our card in, and then I kind of like to see what it looks like. before I put all the dimensionals on. See, we're going to be covering that middle piece up, so the fact that I don't have all the holes covered is fine. I'll do that one, and then like that. And then to finish the card, I love just the regular basic rhinestones for this. And I did 5. I just kind of do this one. I did all small ones because I had a pack left over that I needed to use up. But this one will do a bunch of different sizes, all 3 sizes. And I liked doing 5. I just thought that like looked nice. I like doing it at odd numbers, so 3s, 5s, and that is the card. So don't forget to put an inside basic white in if you want to write in it, or use a white gel pen to write on this dark cardstock. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see next. I love your guys' comments. Say hello. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.